Hey you guys, I just wanted to go over what we're doing in class this week, so that way if you've missed something you can get caught up. So yeah, here we go, class update. So the first thing is that we're working on our plan for our photography project. We talked about our photography project last week a little bit, like we went over the basics, but I can do that right now for just a second. Okay, so if you go into Unit 2 for portrait photography, you scroll to the bottom, there will be two things that say project on them. One will say portrait project plan, and the second one says portrait project. So for this project, we are looking at the artist Kehinde Wiley. There's a video where I explain all the details about it inside the portrait project assignment in Canvas, so I don't really want to go super in depth here, but just the basics are that we're going to he's our inspiration for this project, that artist, and we're taking inspiration from him, and we're going to do a photo portrait instead of a painting because he's a painter. And you're photographing somebody that you think deserves recognition or to be given attention because of something positive that they're doing, somebody who's maybe being taken for granted. And so for this project, what you're going to do is we're going to be taking a portrait, and then we're going to be adding a cool background to the portrait, similar, like in the style of the artist we're emulating, Kehinde Wiley. The very first step of this project, however, is to make a plan of what you're doing. So that's what this portrait project plan is. Basically, in class, I gave everybody a piece of paper, and on that paper, you're writing down who you want to photograph, and I would like you to please put at least 2 items for each one. Then you're going to put where you're going to photograph them and when. Okay, so here I'll show you. Okay, so you're going to do a piece of paper, and you're going to write down who, where, and when, and you're welcome to do bullet points if you want, okay? Mom, Bob, and Mr. Lyons. I don't know, okay? So the who, you're writing down specific people that you might want to photograph for the project. Where, I want you to be specific. You can do at the hospital, or at the park, or at the lake, or whatever, okay? I want you to be putting specific things for each category. So say you feel like your mom is really amazing, maybe she's a nurse part-time, maybe she's just a really awesome human being who is good at being a mom, and so you feel like she's being taken for granted, so you want to make sure that you're highlighting her for your project. And if she was a nurse, you could be like, oh, I want to photograph her with the hospital in the background. Or maybe you don't care about that. Maybe you just want to have it be a pretty background, so you do a park or a Daybreak Lake or whatever. Okay, and then the when, I want you to put specific times of when you can do the photograph for the project. So say you're a Monday, Wednesday student. That means you come to school on Mondays and Wednesdays, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays you're at home. So maybe you'll be like, okay, I can take my photo on Tuesday between 10 a.m. and noon, or I have swim practice on Thursday, so then I can do it in the afternoon on Thursday from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay, so put actual days and times when you think you could accomplish the project. Then what you do is you can either photograph this or type it into a Google Doc and then submit it to this portrait project plan. Okay, so that was the first thing. We started this last week. This is due this week. Please get it finished. Okay, the next thing that we did in class this week is that we're working on learning how to do the background stuff for when the photo is printed. So I have a bunch of photocopied images that we're practicing on with Sharpies and markers. And I put up some examples on the board for us, and then we're adding cool backgrounds to them, okay? So you don't have to do a floral background. My example one does a floral because that's what the artist does, but you can do geometric patterns or stripes or whatever makes you happy, but we're gonna turn in one practice photo that has a background that we've hand drawn. This is a chance for you to take risks and experiment and see what works and what doesn't work and what looks good and what doesn't look good. Okay, so those are the things we've done in class. The last thing we did in class was we just reviewed some of the posing notes. Last week in class we watched these two videos here and here. It's basically like tips on how to help people who are not professional models do a good job being your model for this project. And then in class we went over these notes down here. The notes pretty much speak for themselves. Please just read through them if you weren't able to hear that in class. And then we spent class time, part of class time was spent going out and practicing taking photos using the things we've learned. And it's right here. It's called posing assignment. Okay. If you're an online only student, please do this at home. If you're an in-person student, we're doing this in class. Okay. It's not intended to be homework. It is meant to be done during what would normally be considered the school day. Okay. So there were 3 assignments. Well, 2 things that are due right away, 1 thing that's not due for a little while. So project plan, posing assignment, and then starting on a practice photocopy. You can do this with any picture, okay? It doesn't have to be mine. These are just the ones that I have available. I got the photos off of the internet. I just picked some that I like, and I make copies of them. So if you're online only, I recommend you do one to practice. If you want, you can message me and I can send you a file for one of the photos that I have available. Okay, I think that's all the things. If you have questions or concerns or comments, please message me, email me, organize a Zoom, whatever. Okay? Okay, bye.